I am back and I am here with another day of really what my focus is going to be for this week, which is about saying yes. So, I mentioned yesterday that a lot of times we get really, really good at saying no in life. And that is very worthy and important. You have to say no to things that don't serve you. You have to say no to people that don't serve you. But, excuse me, I really have embraced over the past few years saying yes and saying yes to things that I know will be amazing for me. And I am lucky enough that I've been able to partner with hundreds of women over the last few years and help them say yes to new opportunities, specifically the business opportunity that I have to offer. And I am really excited today to bring on a guest with me to this broadcast, and we're hopeful that the technology is going to work because we had a little bit of a snafu a little earlier. So we're hopeful that this will work well. And I'm going to introduce you all to Gina Sullivan. So I'm going to bring Gina on camera, and we're going to just like, this will work because you know how it goes with you just now. Hey, there she is. Unfortunately, we have not figured out how to get her out of the box. So
I'm floating.
I wanted it to be like split, but we'll be floating and FaceTiming for now. So welcome, and I'm really excited to just spend a few minutes together and talk a little bit about you and your experience as a new business owner. So just I'm gonna turn it over to you to introduce yourself here. But I met Gina online. We actually have only met one time in person. And it's like, the beauty of social media, you feel like you know people and you don't really know them yet. So Gina and I met virtually through a fundraiser that she and I ran through my business, through my Stella and Dot business, and Gina shopped, and we just kind of connected on social media and got to see like her getting ready to get married and all this fun stuff that was happening in her life. And I reached out to her about the Stella and Dot stylist opportunity, and we'll get into it. But timing was not right, and we stayed connected. And now she is running her own business with Stella and Dot, and just killing it, and has just some really good insights to share. So why don't you just like introduce yourself really quickly before we dive into it?
Yeah, so my name is Gina Sullivan, and I live right outside DC in Northern Virginia in Alexandria. So like Krista mentioned, I've only been lucky enough to meet her once, but after following her from that fundraiser through my cousin I saw somebody just killing it in this business opportunity. I was like, oh man, like you were just like a fun person to follow too. And I felt like I made her right away, which was awesome. And when you reach out to me about the business opportunity at first, like you said, I was preparing to get married. I think it was like a couple months before my wedding. I was just living in like a 1-bedroom apartment with my soon to be husband. No kid, no mortgage. Like I was in a very different phase of life, but it was also like insanely busy for me. So that leads up to like what I'm doing now. I now have a mortgage. We bought a house. We got married. We have a kid who just turned 4 months old on Sunday. So like the bags under my eyes are courtesy of him. He got all his 4-month vaccines yesterday. So extra amounts of less sleep last night. But so yeah, and I have a full-time job. I work in downtown DC for a nonprofit full-time. I've got a couple months left on maternity leave, which makes me sad to talk about already. But I know I'll be heading back and work in early November, back to my full-time job.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So Gina, when I reached out to her the first time, like she said, it just was not good timing. And now, as life changes for all of us, things change, things evolve, and life has evolved, and it has been a better time for her. So what initially, when I first said like you might love doing this, what did you initially think? What were your initial reactions?
My initial reactions were like, that isn't for me at all. Like I didn't think that I could do it. Like I didn't think I'd be good at it. I was like, jewelry like isn't my thing. Like I wear the same necklace and earrings and like an Apple Watch every day. Like I couldn't then go and be a stylist for other people. Like kind of would feel like a phony, but then um like, oh, more. I probably had more reservations and
Yeah.
hesitations too. The timing again was another big thing. I think was in a different job at the first time, applying and kind of interviewing for the job that I'm currently in. So it didn't feel right. Like I thought about it, and I think I even I like responded and I was like, oh yeah, thank you, but just it doesn't feel like that would be a good fit for me right now. Like that wouldn't add value right now.
Absolutely. And timing is everything, as we know, so so then, we stayed connected, and when I reached back out to you, well, we actually were chatting because her baby is adorable, and I'm mildly obsessed with watching him grow up, and his name is Dash, which is like super cool. And my son, he's obsessed with The Incredibles. So we've been talking about Baby Dash in our house. That hopefully that's not creepy. And okay, good.
It's famous.
So okay, so we stayed in touch, and then when I mentioned it again, what was it that made you feel like saying yes?
I think it was honestly like a couple factors, and truly all those factors lead into what the timing of it all was. So I was 2 months into my maternity leave, a little over 2 months at the time. Dash was finally like sleeping and taking naps, which was a little bit nicer. Like I felt I had like the ground back under my feet. Um, and I was also realizing how expensive life was now. Like from the last time that we had really truly talked about it, we now have like 2 car payments, we have our mortgage, we have Dash, and just like his monthly expenses like diapers add up, and we were like, I was like, you go through 10 diapers a day, like that's insanity.
Right.
But
Right.
we were kind of feeling a little bit more pressure of like the cost of everything in life, and like we love where we live, but it's a very expensive area. We were just feeling the little bit more of the crunch. So I kind of factored in the timing of it all. I'm home on maternity leave. I kind of have more time to think about it, and we need the money. So
Right.
like, why not give it a shot?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I talked about this yesterday, but I think the idea of money is sometimes an uncomfortable subject to talk about, but it's real. Like we need money to live, and Gina was like, I'm gonna put it in Dash's college fund. We're gonna get ahead, and that makes it's so nice to have an opportunity that will allow you to do that, to create this little like sludge fund for college or for just when you need it. I know in my journey there's been times where I've been so thankful to have this cushion, because life will throw you curveballs and you just don't know, what you don't know. So Gina's signed up. I should have looked at the date, but it was like mid-August.
August 13th, I think, was the actual sign.
So 2 months in, almost, 2 months and 2 days basically in. So what has your experience been like so far?
Oh my gosh. So first, my experience has been like that it's more than I expected it to be. Like I said, going into it, I really was just kind of looking for some extra income to bring it all in. And that has met and exceeded my expectations. I even remember, because my husband is very supportive of it, when we sat down to talk about it, I was like, this is how much it costs to start it. These are my goals for like the first 30 days, the first 60 days. He was like, wow, like those are big goals. Like, hey, let's do it. Like, I think I could have told him that I want to like build a rocket and fly to the moon, and he would let me do it anyway. So, but so he's very supportive, but he knew that if I was bringing this up and it was something I wanted to do, then I should do it. So meeting those goals in like even the first 30 and 60 days, I've now earned like over I think almost like $1,200 like cash money, which is amazing, that I didn't have 60 days ago and wouldn't have made any other way. We've earned a lot of product credit. I mean, I'm wearing clothes that I've gotten like for free from product credits that I've earned from sharing this with other people, which is another amazing perk. I think I've earned similar amount, like almost 1,200 in product credit in that time, which is insane. So I'm like building back up my wardrobe. I'm like, I'm going new clothes. Like I didn't have to go break the bank or move money around out of the budget for that, which was great.
Right.
Um,
I
so
don't,
like
you know,
money,
I feel
awesome.
like when I had my first daughter, I didn't do Stella and Dot at the time, and gosh, I felt like a hot mess. So I feel like if I had some cute clothes or some cute accessories to be able to throw on during that time, I feel like, it's a tough time for me, at least. It was a tough time when I had my first child. I almost feel like I have three, and going from 0 to 1 was harder, the hardest than 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, because it's 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 hard, like your lifestyle changes, and then you change, you're not as independent. So I think, it's not superficial to want to feel good and have
Yeah,
things make you feel good. So I think
it's
that's
nice to do something for myself. And the way I've been working the business is that it hasn't taken any time away from my time with Dash. And that's pretty much what I was adamant about, is that maternity leave is like my time. And I even took extra time from work. Luckily, they kind of gave me an extra month that I could take on unpaid at the end. And I chose to take that time. We budgeted for all that because I really wanted to take advantage of like Dash's first 4.5, 5 of life and be there as much as possible. So I didn't want to then start Sell and Dot and have that like take steps back from everything I had planned. So I really did it focus like during his nap times once he started taking condensed nap times, which was amazing. um, and then like sometimes an hour at night, like waiting for Dan to get home and stuff like that. So, it's been like I joined for the money and I joined for that like financial freedom, but then the people that I've met, like I feel like I'm friends with like this whole other group of girls and who very few I've met in
yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Like besties, like I know them, know their lives, like we're all like working towards similar goals. And you have like that community and friendship. And it's been fulfilling, which is another like big thing, is that I don't want to do something that's not like adding value and fulfilling to my life. So
Absolutely. Yeah, there is something special. It's kind of what I said earlier, like social media, there has a lot of negatives, and we can all name them off the top of our head, but for as many negatives, I feel like it has 2 or 3 times the positives because of the connection and the community and the support. And I hope you found, like, the people you meet in person, it's real. It's not this fake online virtual community that is not what that's like in real life. That's what it's like in real life.
yeah.
I just spent the night last night with a big chunk of our community. We were filling the chemo care pouches that Gina was a part of. So we asked some of you that are watching, we asked for sponsors and of these pouches that then we would use the commissions that we made to fill them with socks and chapstick and things that women going through chemotherapy would love and appreciate. And you're just looking around, and when I went to an event with Gina in down in Virginia, you're like, this is pretty cool, to be able to have this little like slice of heaven, to have this like little pocket of community within your regular bigger community that is supportive and encouraging and empowering. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been great.
So what are your plans? So Gina is going back. What's your maternity leave date is over when?
November 5th is my official go back date.
Okay. So do you plan to continue working the business?
Yeah, and I do need to sit down and kind of I like plans, and I like to have an idea like set in stone of this is what I'm going to do. Like this is my time to work the business, but I'm definitely going to keep it going. I mean, there's no way I'm like hooked. Like you do, and you're like, this is awesome. This is fun. The money is there. The friendships are there.
Yeah.
I mean, getting free accessories and going back to work, I'll have more of that opportunity of the whole share it, wear it. Like people will see. I'm like, that's easy advertising. Like, oh yeah,
You'll get dress up and leave the house. Awesome. So you're glad you said yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm very glad.
Yeah.
It's been, and time has been flying by in general, obviously with a 4-month-old, but it was a great first 60 days. It was awesome.
Awesome. Well, we're so thankful that you're part of the community, and I've loved getting to know you. And on Bennett's bucket list is to meet Baby Dash. So
yeah, well, it's on Dash's bucket list too.
We got to make that happen. So thank you so much, Gina, and can't wait to just continue to watch your journey unfold. It's gonna be awesome.
Thanks, Krista.
All right, bye.
Bye.